This is Market Day Report. Wow, what an interesting list here. 10 years of the Uber Lost and Found Index. I don't know, have you ever taken an Uber or a Lyft ride or a cab and left something in those? Well, what's kind of interesting, top 10 most forgetful cities, Newark, Atlanta, Boston, Dallas, Washington, LA, San Francisco, top 3 are Chicago, Miami, and New York. But what do we forget in these? Hang on, we've got a few more of those in just a moment. Can't forget about the corn market, though. We're up and trading, and we do have a flash sale. More on that in a moment. Old crop, 422.5, up 3 3/4 cents. With new crop at 449, that's up 3 cents as we open up. And back on that old crop, that's where that flash sale is. And again, we'll dig into that in a moment. How about beans? Beans still in the red. November contract off a nickel at 1130.5. As if 7 sessions lower isn't enough, looks like the market's pushing it lower for day number 8. Wheat market. Speaking of pushing lower, remember Chicago came into yesterday as it was lower for 6 straight sessions. Well, we're higher now. July up 9, 592.25. We have hard red, which had been lower for 12 straight sessions, except for the July. We're on a 2-day win streak here, but July 639.25. It's 9.5 higher. And then over to the cotton market. You know, we were trading what at 85 cents just a few weeks back. In December now it's 77.60. It's down 1 point. Let's go to Dodge City, Kansas. Little cotton grown around Dodge City as well, but a lot of wheat and corn. Brady Huck's with EmpowerAg Trading. Hey, Brady, let's start with the conditions there. You've been dry. Still dry?
We've had a good couple weeks here, Tony. Got some moisture in southwest parts of Kansas. It's been hit and miss, but there's been some big rainfall totals in parts of the high plains. But not everybody's been blessed enough to get it. But I think a lot of the area got a lot. So the moisture relief is more than welcome, Tony.
Okay, I mentioned the export flash sale. That's old crop. Any thoughts on this?
Well, it's great to see export flash sales. We're in that time frame where we need to continue to see those. And anytime you have a price break like what we've seen over the last couple weeks, when we like to see those buyers come in. So having some sales announcements yesterday, beans to unknown, corn to Japan, and another export flash this morning of corn to unknown destinations. Those are huge things to help support this market and a good sign that there's some demand here as these prices have broke. We haven't seen the market action we've wanted to see over the last couple of weeks, that's for sure. But I guess seeing some of that demand in gives us hope that this maybe will form a base here. And we've got a lot of crop ahead of this market. The market's certainly pricing in, maybe a perfect crop or a good crop right now. We had the conditions yesterday and we didn't show an increase that some wanted. Those conditions came in on the lower end of expectations. Corn was steady at 67%. Beans slipped 1%. You can read between the tea leaves a little bit on these conditions. The corn good to excellent category, we saw 2% shift out of the excellent and into the good. But as a whole, I guess you compare it to the start of the school year, Tony, where we've had a couple pop quizzes and everybody's doing all right. The tests haven't been too hard, and everybody's kind of starting with an A or a B plus right now. But there's a lot of midterm exams ahead of this market that could certainly move the needle ahead. So.
All right, speaking of tests, let's talk test weights, wheat harvest. Heard from over around McPherson, 30 bushels. What are you hearing?
I think a mixed bag out here with wheat harvest. It's underway. We're well ahead. We're 11%. The USDA pegged us at 11% harvested versus 6% on average. The crop's been about 2 weeks ahead this whole year with the heat and the warmth we've had. There's going to be a lot of variability in production and harvest results. There's been some surprises too on the positive side, which we like to see, where guys thought maybe it'd be 15, 20 bushel wheat and it comes in 25, 30 bushel wheat. Wheat is a resilient crop. It can sometimes surprise you on what it does. Test weight can also drive that higher yield number and add bushels, I guess, to the bin that you maybe weren't expecting. But we're going to get in the thick of harvest here as soon as some of these fields dry out a little bit, as we've had some moisture. And it'll be interesting to see what the yields come in at. I think there's going to be a mixed bag of better than expected, and then guys that are just glad to get the crop off the field if they have to cut it and move on.
Hey, Brady, speaking of harvest, we're going to take a break, but when we come back, I want to pick up the conversation on beef harvest. It's right around the corner on Market Day Report. 3 straight sessions lower. Have we found a bottom here, or have we found at least something, a safety net to keep us from falling any further? Talking about the hog market right now, and the June contract unchanged. July, most active, 97.97. It's up 60. But again, we're trading in 96 and 97 territory with August and July, and putting pressure definitely here in the hog market. Feeders trying to bounce back after that sell-off yesterday. August 352.65. It's $1.95, $1.72 higher. And then we go to live cattle. And with our live cattle contracts, that's really where we saw the deepest losses yesterday. August 237.92, up $1.20. June at 247 even, it's up 47. And remember, our cash trade last week was 255 to 258. So we're somewhere around $8 to $11 below where we traded cash. Brady Huck is with EmpowerAg Trading. And is that a place we can kind of jump into the markets? Not necessarily disconnect, but the canyon in between cash trade and that front month June contract?
Yeah, we've still got some time for those to come together and meet up, but they certainly don't always have to meet up at the end of the day. But yeah, this market though, Tony, it just continues to be driven by headlines and funds. Funds are going to drive this market. They're going to come, they're going to go. At the end of the day, the health of the consumer, the economy still remain the main drivers. Watch the S&P, the stock market, where that goes. And are they going to be paying more at the pump? And what's the interest rate story look like ahead of us? So on the fundamental side, though, the supply side is unchanged in the big picture, and we're just really awaiting that next move, and we need some sort of bullish catalyst to give the funds confidence to come in and buy this market. I did not see a new screwworm headline here this morning. We had those yesterday. I think that kind of caused a little more pressure in the market. These markets, they're hanging out at the lower end of the recent trading range, and we just need a pause or some calm to give the funds confidence to come back in and own this market. May was beef month, Tony. June is also an important month for beef consumption, U.S. beef demand. It's summertime, and we need to get those grills fired up. We got some green grass in the pastures. Those are good things in the cattle market. Cow-calf guys, they're still sitting in great spots, Tony. If you're in the cow-calf business, this market's a great thing. It's the backgrounders, the stalkers, the feed yards guys, the back-to-backers that I really worry about going forward, because we're putting a lot of equity in these steer calves that we're buying. And I guess the best thing going for them is the cheap cost of gain that we have, though, right now, Tony. They can afford to put pounds on. They're getting paid to put pounds on, and they're betting on that market to come and be better when those animals are ready. But there's a lot of risk between start and finish of those animals.
Speaking of risk, you can run the risk of, if you've got cash in your wallet, losing it. Is that right?
That's true, Tony. Yes, I got good news this last weekend. My wife found my wallet in between the seat and the center console of her car. It's been missing for about 45 days here, and I'd almost given up hope. I was gonna go to the DMV and get my new license printed up. I've been dreading that, but relief came when I least expected it.
Well, congratulations. And it wasn't even in an Uber. 10 years of the Uber Lost and Found Index. By the way, it's Tuesday. If you're taking a ride share today, keep an eye out for your headphones or your earbuds. Today is the most popular day to lose those in a in a rideshare. So
I'm
keep
going to
that in
keep
mind.
all my items in my pockets, and I'm going to zip them pockets up if I can today.
There you go. It's Brady Huck, EmpowerAg Trading.